Right now, the latest from Washington. Good evening, I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. President Trump's term is set to expire in days, but lawmakers who are trying to remove him from office say it's about taking it a step further, keeping Trump from running again.
This is the first time in history that lawmakers have voted to impeach a sitting president twice. The hearing was filled with emotion and strong testimony from both sides of the aisle.
Ultimately, lawmakers voted to charge President Donald Trump with incitement of insurrection. 12 News reporter Sheena Losciuto breaks down what the path will likely look like from here. Sheena?
Well, the impeachment article now heads to the Senate, which reconvenes on the 19th, according to Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. 2/3 of senators would have to vote in favor of convicting President Trump for this to really move any further. The United States House of Representatives once again votes to impeach President Donald Trump. The final vote lands at 232 to 197 in the Democrat-controlled chamber. The article now heads to the Senate. Shortly after, Speaker Pelosi delivered remarks from the lectern that was stolen during last week's violence.
Today, in a bipartisan way, the House demonstrated that no one is above the law.
Those events are at the middle of this all. Critics pointing fingers at the commander-in-chief for encouraging protesters.
He summoned the mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack. Armed with guns, pipe bombs, bats, shields, zip ties, and more, they set their sights on the U.S. Capitol.
While some Republicans argue the reaction here is hypocritical.
The left in America has incited far more political violence than the right. For months, our cities burned, and they said nothing, or they cheerled for it, and they fundraised for it, and they allowed it to happen in the greatest country in the world. Now, some have cited the metaphor that the president lit the flame. Well, they lit actual flames.
So what happens next? A Senate trial would likely happen early on in President-elect Biden's term. 2/3 of the senators would have to vote to convict Trump, and if convicted, lawmakers could then take a separate vote on banning him from running again in 2024. The president taped a video following the vote, but did not directly address the impeachment.
I unequivocally condemn the violence that we saw last week. Violence and vandalism have absolutely no place in our country.
Now, Rhode Island Congressman David Cicilline served as an impeachment manager for the House, and following the vote, he sent us a statement reading in part, quote, "Our republic is stronger today than it was 1 week ago." Live in studio, I'm Sheena Losciuto, 12 News.